Hello, sir. Can't hear you, sir.
Hi, Rajesh. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Very well.
Good. Good to see you. Thank you for organizing this meeting.
Thank you, sir.
I'm
And
sure you're well.
and yes, sir, we won the last test match.
Yeah, but then you ran home, so you did not play the last one. It said here in England that the money of the IPL was more important to the Indian cricketers than playing the test match against England. But I saw the Indian ladies play earlier in the year against England. They're a very good team, the Indian ladies. Very good.
How are you keeping your health, sir?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, fully vaccinated, so yeah. So, are you letting everybody in, Rajesh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good.
Manshu, sir, has also joined.
Good.
So we have around 10 members right now joined.
Yeah, others will be on their way. We're a little bit early still. 5 minutes.
So, sir, the PPT, the presentation, I will present it from my side and you can speak from there, sir.
Okay, yeah. Himanshu, good to see you.
Ram, sir.
Good. So you're in your office in Dehradun?
Just now I returned from office, sir.
You're at home.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
Good.
Pranam,
Excellent.
sir. Manshu, sir, pranam. Ratika, madam, has also joined.
Rajesh Saab,
Sir.
how many participants you are expecting? We are expecting about 40, no? Or
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 40.
Right now we have only 11, 12.
Yes, sir. We'll be joining, sir.
This typical Indian attitude must go. Time is time. We can't spoil Indian image in front of Rose, sir, every time.
Yes, sir. Actually, that's why I didn't go home. I'm in the office only.
Himanshu, I'm used to this. If something starts on time, I would drop with shock. So they're coming in gradually.
Hi, Ratika, madam. Namaste,
Hello,
madam.
how are you?
Hi, Rajni ji. Ratika, madam, namaste.
Namaste, sir. Namaste, everyone.
We have Dr. Ratan Sarkar, Dr. Anamika Sinha, madam also joined.
Good evening. Namaskar. Namaskar to everyone. Richard, how are you? Yeah, after a long time.
I'm fine, thank you.
Ratika ma'am, hope you are well.
Pooja ji, namaste.
Yes, how are you, sir?
Fine, fine. We have Aparna Mukherjee joining. I think joined. Yeah. Hello, Aparna ji. Rajni ji also joined. Dr. Ratan Sarkar. I think we have around 15 members right now.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Sorry, here my network is really not in a good condition in Kolkata. There is heavy rainfall, so that's why having network issues. So really sorry.
No issue. No issue. Johnson sir joined. Pushpanjali madam also joined. Namaste madam. We have Dr. Revati from Chennai joined. Welcome. Good evening, Johnson sir. Nice to see you.
Hi, Rajesh. Nice to see you as well. Nice to see everybody. Thank
We are
you.
very happy that India won in this
Namaste.
match.
Yes, that day. Yeah. Demoralized.
They won the match, Johnson, and then they ran home to make money from the IPL rather than play the last game.
They don't want defeat again, Richard.
No,
That-
I know.
We are Aditi Devapur, no? So
Rajesh, have we heard from Professor Narayan?
Sorry, sir. Just had a call from Jayanti ma'am. She was a little bit confused because you had sent one Zoom meeting link for 1:30 p.m. So I think she was joining that. So she got just confused. I'm just resending her the link.
Yeah, that was a different thing, Rajesh. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. just sent her, sir. She'll be in a minute. Yes, sir. Jayanti ma'am has joined.
Hello, namaskar, everybody. Sorry if I'm late.
Namaskar.
I had a little bit of difficulty getting in and I managed and I missed the earlier meeting. I'm sorry about it because I just couldn't get connected. I don't know why.
That's okay.
Yeah. I don't know what the problem was. And this also had difficulty. I had to take Rajesh's help to get connected. Sorry about it.
It's okay. We all have difficulties. Okay.
Himanshu, sir, we have around 18 members joined along with our board members. So if
So
you say,
with permission of Professor Richard Roth, sir, if you allow, I can start, sir.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. Let's get going, Himanshu.
Namaskar, everyone. Indeed, it's a great pleasure, and I'm very proudly privileged to be welcoming one and all for this very, very special initiative under the banner of IIRN. So we have with us Professor Richard Rosa, Professor Emeritus Inclusive Education, University of Northampton, UK. We have our mentor from our students' time, Dr. Jayanti Narayan ma'am, visiting professor, University of Northampton, UK, and former Deputy Director, NIEPVD, Secunderabad. We have with her our colleague, Dr. Johnson from Kerala, and we also have with us our other board members, Rajesh Ramachandran ji from Chennai, Ritika Malkhani ji from UK, Pooja Patki ji from Bangalore, Dr. Pankaj ji from Dehradun, Dr. Nitika from Delhi, and Ms. Puspanjali ji from Dehradun. And we also have with us other aspiring members from previous research workshops conducted on qualitative research across the country by NIEPVD. Once again, welcome all of you. Basically, we wanted to formally launch the Forum of India Inclusion Research Network and formalize on the plan of action and our goals and vision, reconfirming our goals and vision, and also to formally announce that NIVH, formerly now NIEPVD, National Institute for Empowerment of Persons with Visual Disability, will be there to support the cause of IRN and Pan-India disability and allied sector young professionals. We wish to provide a platform towards research support. With this note, I'll request Rajesh Saab to continue with the rest of the program. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
thank you, sir. We warmly welcome everybody, the board members and also the other members for this online launch of the India Inclusive Research Network. It's basically the idea of Professor Richard sir, Professor Jayanti Narayan madam, and Dr. Himanshu Das sir. A forum wherein we can promote, we can mentor, handheld and guide young new researchers in the field of disability rehabilitation with a specific focus on inclusive education for persons with disabilities and also towards other disabilities and impairments. So today is basically the official launch of the IIRN network and forum. And it is really a pleasure to have the three mentors, Professor Richard sir, Professor Jayanti madam, and Dr. Himanshu Das sir, who will be guiding us in making this a pan-India program in the coming future. So let me move on to the next part, the self-introduction by the board members. That is what is been planned as per the itinerary. Himanshu sir, how do we go about it?
You call one by one, we'll introduce ourselves.
Okay, the first one I would like to request our most respected Professor Richard sir for the self-introduction, please.
Thank you, Rajesh, and thank you everybody for attending today. It's a great pleasure to see you all again. It's been far too long since I've been able to come to India for obvious reasons, and I've certainly missed being there with my good friends all across the country. And by way of introduction, all I would say is that my background is, as you know, as a professor in a UK university. I've been very privileged to work in India for more than 20 years and have met all of you personally at various times in lots of different capacities. And my commitment now is to support as many people as I can to take the research agenda forward in India, working for the better inclusion of people with disabilities and other marginalized groups, and to see the members of this network become leading researchers in the field of inclusion and special education, disability, and children's rights in the coming years. So it's a pleasure for me to be here with you today, and I look forward to being with you in person, hopefully, in the future, as well as here online. So thank you very much. Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you, sir. I would now request Professor Jayanti Narayan, madam, the introduction, please.
Ma'am, your mic is mute, ma'am.
Thank you for telling me that. Yeah. Namaskar, everybody. I am a special educator and I've been with NIEPVD until 2007. That's about 23 years or so. Working as a special educator that one would do generally. Then I've been working on contract with UNICEF or UNDP or WHO and other INGOs on staff training in the area of disability in countries. My whole focus core area was staff training in staff in the sense special education teachers, let us say. And then I had the fortune of getting to know Richard, and I've been working with Richard since then, the University of Northampton as a visiting professor and working on the Indian programs. The best thing that happened, because of which we are all here today in this meeting, is what I want to highlight, is that when Dr. Himanshu Das was director at NIEPVD, when I happened to meet him, I told him about the work that Richard is doing in India and then the strength we have in him in strengthening ourselves in the qualitative research and also inclusion if we will be able to work with him. And when I spoke to him, believe me, I was talking with a small NIEPVD organizing a workshop to some people. This is how I had it in mind. But Himanshu, as we know him, when he saw the taste of the first workshop, immediately he planned on a pan-India workshop with 5 different zones with Richard and his team members, including Johnson and Ritika and also Pooja, who are with us today, conducting 5-zone workshop. Initially, we had the first group is in hundreds, the number, and then Richard is a strict taskmaster. So he gave homework for everybody. Whoever did the homework and passed the test were eligible for the second workshop, and about 25 of them from all over India had the second level work. They're also here. I can see Anamika right away, but I'm sure there are others also there. And then the second workshop was a advanced workshop in qualitative research methods. And then we had plans, Himanshu was ready for the next level to launch an all India research. Different participants would do it in different parts of their area, same objective, but then the samples and the work will be in their respective region. Then came our villain, the COVID-19, and then everything into a standstill. But I won't say it's all gone. We are going to revive it, I'm sure. That's why we are all here today, and look forward to more activities. Me at very much in the background and not in the forefront, and all of you taking lead to do this so that we have the dream realized of all of us, Richard and me and Himanshu, are wanting the whole country strengthening our research, qualitative research, and with the support of Richard and his team that we are having with us. And thank you for making me part of the team. Looking forward to more work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Did I talk too much, Rajesh? Have I talked too much? Sorry about it. I wanted to say this.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request Dr. Ratika Malkhani.
Ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Sorry, can you hear me now? Sorry, yeah. I've had the pleasure of meeting some of you in Chennai for the workshop, and I'm really looking forward to working with all of you. As some of you would know, I've been working in education for over 25 years now, but since I met Professor Richard about 10 years ago, I've focused on inclusive education and social research. And I am really looking forward to this coming together of people with different perspectives and expertise. And I believe that it will bring a huge amount of data together, which will help us to delve deeper into the challenges facing inclusion, and maybe even come up with some policy interventions. So I am really looking forward to working in a truly collaborative way with all of you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Madam Pooja Haridarshan, madam.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry I can't put my video on because I'm having very bad internet connection today. Okay, so just to give a very brief introduction, I've just completed my PhD on understanding the lives of the women of the Devanga community in Bangalore. And like most of you already know, we met in Chennai. We also spoke about the research that I did. I did a qualitative study and understood various socio-cultural and academic aspects of how these women are kept away from gaining access to educational opportunities. So my research interest lies in working with those sections of society who are excluded, rather do not gain equal access to education like the others do. And as Ratika said, I'm really looking forward to working with so many of you, bringing in so many different perspectives to this, whole new idea that we started in, I think, 2 years ago, and we're going to take it forward. So yes, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Johnson, sir, may I request you to please introduce?
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you, Dr. Himanshu Das and Dr. Jayanti ma'am and Professor Richard Rose. I used to be a school teacher, primary and secondary level school teacher. Now I am a kind of inclusive education teacher and inclusive research trainer as well. That is all because of I went into Northampton University to do my master's in education. Later, under the guidance of Professor Richard Rose, I completed my PhD. Then I worked with him from India, our University of Northampton MA and Inclusive Education program in Bangalore. Then later also I connected to DIVYANJAN and this 5-zone qualitative research training in different parts of India. now I actually work with the University of Sussex. Their project in working with the fishing community actually. So again, I'm from the fishing community background. So that is something I work with the marginalized community, especially people from the indigenous backgrounds and tribal background, and also from the background of fishing communities. So I think this is an important initiative and it should happen. It should be there. There are a lot of people in our country are actually marginalized, they excluded. They need a lot of support through our research. So this initiative will make some changes in our country, and I'm looking forward to work with you all. I know most of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I now request Dr. Nitika Madam to introduce herself.
Thank you, and namaste once again to everyone. I'm Dr. Nitika Mendirata. I'm a PhD in special education and a master's in intellectual disabilities, but I've also done my cross-disability training in 3-4 more disability areas. At present, I am a CEO of a civil society organization that is offering several teacher training programs that are RCI recognized. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request Dr. Pankaj sir from NIEPVD, Dehradun, to introduce himself.
Namaskar, sir. I'm Pankaj and working here as assistant professor at National Institute for the Empowerment of Persons with Visual Disabilities at Dehradun. And before joining this institute, I was working with a very ambitious project of World Bank that is enhancing teacher effectiveness. Especially my location was at Bihar for improving the teacher effectiveness through SCRT, involvement of SCRT, diets and different organization. Now I am very happy to and delighted to associate with this special initiative. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. May I now request Madam Pushpanjali Gupta ji to introduce herself.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Pushpanjali Gupta, and I'm a special educator. I have almost 10 years of experience in teaching in an inclusive school, which was earlier a special school for the VI, but later on I started taking children from all categories or all disability areas. So I basically am a teacher teaching them actually. But after that, I came to NIEPVD and I'm working here as a faculty now. And basically, I have more experience when I was in school. I was dealing with students directly. I would say that I'm a motivator. I can because when I was in school, I used to motivate students and take them for talk shows and all in radio. And so much so that they were motivated and wanted to be, radio jockeys later on. Some VI students, very young ones. So that is it. I'm still a learner, and basically I'm a special educator and would like to be involved in this area only. And I'm delighted to be here. Happy to join this venture over here, and hope to do some more work in this field. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Last, I'm Rajesh Ramachandran. I'm a special educator and a social worker, and working at NIEPMD Chennai, and I'm the office bearer for the India Inclusive Research Network. That's it from me. Thank you.
And you are an official anchor and comparer also of all the meetings that you have to say. Every time you are there when we have to have some meetings. Nice. Good job.
I'm really privileged that everybody puts hope on me, but I don't know how much justice I do. Thank you. Let us now move on to the other members who have joined. I'll just take the names so you can introduce. Madam Rajini Ramachandran, please introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. As Rajesh sir said, my name is Rajini Ramachandran, and I met Professor Richard Rose and his team when they came to University of Calicut to offer their workshop on qualitative research, and I teach at Calicut University. I'm an assistant professor in psychology, and my area of research interest is autism. So I met the team during a time when I had shifted from quantitative research, which is which is the area I was trained in, to a qualitative research, and I was stuck with my postdoc data, which is when I met, which is when I attended the workshop, and it was a very, very lucky meeting for me, because I really got a lot from those workshops that I attended over the period of time, and I'm really happy also that the data that I had taken and put away because of a couple of rejections from journal articles, I took it back, and it was published last year in the journal Autism. And yeah, it was largely because of the workshop that this happened. So I'm very, very glad that this initiative is continuing. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Dr. Nathan Sarkar.
Yes, good evening, Rajeshda, and thank you for giving me the chance to be a part of this. And I'm Ratan Sarkar, and I'm like student here. And most of the sir and ma'am, like Professor Janti ma'am, Richard sir, and Johnson sir, Aparna ma'am, Rajeshda, I think I have met you personally in a physical setting. Nothing to say more about me. I just did my PhD in education from Pondicherry Central University, and before that, I did my MPhil and MEd in special education from Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda University. And I'm presently working at the Department of Teachers Training at Royal College Kontai, which is in Bengal, West Bengal, affiliated to the University of Vidyasagar University. And at the same time, I'm heading the Department of Education here. And I'm really interested to work in the field of inclusive education, and I want to explore the areas like policies and practices for persons with disabilities in India. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Revati Doraiswamy? Dr. Revati Doraiswamy? Yeah.
I'm here. Thank you, sir. I'm Revati, working as lecturer in National Institute for Empowerment of Persons with Multiple Disability. Happy to be part of this program. I had participated the qualitative research program which conducted in NIEPVD. So it was very helpful for us to learn more and more on qualitative research. So that was so helpful. I thank all the professors who are here who has given us the opportunity. So thank you. And about myself, I have been working as a lecturer in NIEPVD from 2017. Before I was working as a research assistant in Avinash Lingam University, Coimbatore, and I had been working with working on a project called Response to Intervention for Sustainable Development in Inclusive Education Program. So then when I was working in NIEPVD in the beginning, I mean before, I mean 1.5 years before, we had an opportunity that we worked under the guidance of Sudha sir on developing the accessibility module for Andaman Nicobar Island. We are very grateful that it was published and the schools they are practicing by Andaman government, they are practicing in the school. So I thank the opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Saheli Mukherjee ji.
Good evening, all of you. Thank you so much. I am feeling really fortunate to be here. I am working as a special educator and rehabilitation psychologist, and presently I am attached with a mainstream CBSE school as HOD inclusive education. I have learned a lot from the last training we had done at Chennai. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Dr. Shobha Odnava.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Rajesh sir, for adding me in this program. Even though I was out of NIPMED and out of this, I got opportunity to be a part of this meeting. About myself, Shobha Odunavar, specialized in hearing impairment, where I have done my B.Ed, M.Ed, and PhD related to that. I was earlier a faculty in Department of Special Education, NIPMED. Now, currently, I'm working in a project collaboration with CBM and RIE Mysuru, placed in Mysore. The experience, what I personally got from the workshop, was conducted on qualitative research. It was great. We learned a lot. It was a hands-on experience to us, and we learned a lot during two workshops. That was very richful for me. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm very happy to be a part of this meeting. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Aparna Mukherjee ji.
Good evening, everyone. I am Aparna Mukherjee. I did my master's in human development and family studies, and my PhD was on inclusive education. It was a mixed method studies, and I wanted to study the psychological attributes of the educators and parents towards the concept of inclusive education in schools of Kolkata. And during my PhD, I was facing much trouble with the qualitative research portion. So fortunately, I got the opportunity to be a part of both the basic and the advanced level workshops that was conducted here first in Kolkata and then in Chennai. And from there onwards, my love for qualitative research started, and I'm just writing my thesis now. I've not completed yet, but I'm looking forward to being a part of this team and getting to learn more from the esteemed mentors here. I'm so honored to be a part of this team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Now we move up to Dr. Bharati.
Hello, I hope I am audible, everyone. Rajesh,
yes,
thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can't switch on my video, and I was dreading that as in when my name would be announced. Thank you. Myself, Bharti, I am working at the moment with Central Institute of Educational Technology, which is part of NCERT. So I'm working there as associate professor, and at the moment I'm working on developing teaching learning material in sign language and also assistive technologies, and lot of initiatives CIT is taking in making textbook and content digitally accessible. So I'm fortunate enough to be part of few initiatives and looking forward to gaining more insight on inclusion by being part of this group. Thank you, Rajesh ji. Thank you, sir. And nice to see almost all the familiar faces here once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Chandra Prakash Singh, sir, can you please introduce yourself?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank all the organizing team for having me on board. Sir, at the time of workshop that was conducted in Delhi and Chennai, I was pursuing my master's in special education learning disabilities. So from the learning of that workshop and that training program, I actually conducted qualitative study during my dissertation. And right now I'm working as an assistant professor in Mano Rashna University, assistant professor of special education learning disability. And definitely I prefer, from the training experience, I prefer qualitative study over quantitative one. So thank you so much for providing me such kind of opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Deepak Upadhyay ji, who is the meeting host from NIEPVD, Dehradun. Welcome, sir. May I now request Dr. Anamika Sinha, madam.
Good evening, everyone. I'm basically a special educator. Started my journey as a special educator in a special school. And I had attended the workshops. It was a wonderful and very enriching opportunity to be a part of the workshop and under the mentorship of Richard Rose, Professor Dehradun, and Johnson Zement. So it was a wonderful opportunity because after that, I really started to think about the qualitative research. I was in a pure administration and I am working in Manovikas Kendra, Kolkata. But after attending the workshops, I really felt my interest in qualitative research, and I'm really excited and looking forward to be actively doing the activities here to be a part of this network. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam. May I now request Dr. G. Tagore from NIEPVD Regional Center, Chennai.
Sir, good evening, sir. Sir, respected director, sir, Jayanti madam, Richard Rose, sir, Rajesh Ramchandran, sir, and other dignitaries. So, thank you for this opportunity. So, myself, Tagore, working as a research officer at NIEPVD Regional Center, Chennai. Basically, myself, a physiotherapist, and I did my master's in disability rehab administration, and started working with cerebral palsy children for more than 5-6 years, and doing my PhD in cerebral palsy. And now at present I'm working in Regional Center Chennai. Actually, I missed the opportunity to attend the qualitative research training. So after that, after seeing all the feedback, just I thought I missed this opportunity. I request the director to conduct few more programs in this qualitative research area to the staffs of NIEPVD. And I'm also a budding researcher. So I need more guidance from the senior people, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Tagore, sir. Neem Dhamija ji.
Good evening, everyone. I have joined this group. Just I did not know what this group is doing. I am a retired college teacher and I am in social work also. And that I've been seeing some problems with children, with differently abled children. So I thought, why not take more knowledge? I said more knowledge. Why not get some knowledge from these groups? There are so many groups. So now at this moment, I'm wondering from which group I opted for this. So I'm very glad I say, like other, we can say persons, that this is a very nice group and I'm lucky to be associated, though at the moment I don't know unconsciously, but I clicked for that. The reason I want to learn more and more, I attend every time whenever CRC Lucknow, they're having their organizing this. Most probably Lakshmi ma'am was sitting over here. At this moment, she's not there. She's from Bangalore. If I'm sure it's all right, I don't know whether I'm sure or not. She also came there and delivered a talk. I was so impressed because I am interested in all these things. I'm trying to learn. I don't think I can do anything for that, but with if you agree, I shall remain in this group. I shall learn new things from you. That would be, I shall feel myself lucky for that. And thank you very much. I've just introduced myself because I have got interest in that. That's the thing you can say. I'm a social worker and doing counseling in schools with children. So that's everything I want to learn. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to talk. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam. Parimal Behra.
Good evening, everyone. Myself, Parimal Behra. Thank you for adding me. It is my honor and privilege to be part of the group. Presently, I am working at NIEPVD Kolkata in another position. and also doing my PhD from Jadavpur University under the guidance of Professor Vishnupadananda on inclusive education. And before that, I attached with Manovikas Kendra Teachers Training Department. I was there for last 12 years. And my research emphasizes on inclusive education. I think I will be happy enough to be part of this group, and I will learn a lot from the senior professors and my colleagues. Even my students is also there in this group. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, board members, and thank you, other members, for joining this online launch program. I think all the members have introduced themselves. Now we move on to the next part, introduction about the India Inclusion Research Network. I would request Dr. Nitika Madam for the presentation, please.
I will not be making a formal presentation, but I'll be introducing IIRN, verbally. So, and I'm taking ideas from, how Jayanti ma'am introduced about herself and, the part about how this network came about. So I'll be briefly sharing about the journey and how and why and how we formed this network. So the journey and thought behind the formation of this network came about, as ma'am rightly said, after the conduction of series of workshop at NIEPVD Chennai. There was a first level and second level workshops. There were zonal workshops, and from then their selected researchers were, handpicked, and a nationwide research on inclusive education was conducted. And soon after that, we felt that this journey needs to continue, and and that we need young professionals need guidance of such senior mentors. So that was the why and how of why this research network has been formed. And as Rajesh sir has already mentioned, that the objective is to provide a forum to promote, mentor, and handhold and guide young and new researchers in the field of disability rehab, with a particular focus on inclusion of persons with disabilities. And considering there's hardly any indigenous research at present in our country, and more so, there is much more limited work when we talk about qualitative and mixed method research. So the need and the scope of research is very, very high. However, the level of training and the quantity of training that we receive is very low, and there is very limited scope of mentorship. So that's why we thought that the need of such a forum is highly essential. And we're very glad that NIEPVD is willing to partner in this venture. And we're really blessed to have mentors like Professor Richard Rose, Jayanti ma'am, Dr. Ratika, Dr. Pooja, and Dr. Johnson with us. So the agenda, what we want in future is we're aiming at graded training for everyone, mentorship, guidance, and scaffolding, and promotion of young researchers for publication. And maybe in future, together, we can come up with an international quality journal as well. So this network is, as we said, is for everyone, anyone who is or has been or is interested in to be involved in doing research. Together, we can come up with ideas for research, share information, and learn from each other. We also intend to offer training to members on various subjects related to research and disability. So at present, we are inviting memberships for the network. The primary membership criteria is master's degree or above in any area of education, special education, social work, disability rehab, inclusion, or any other related subject. Anyone who is interested in qualified young researcher can register with IIRN as an apprentice member. After receiving an intensive customized training in research under the mentors of IIRN, they'll be promoted to the mentee membership category. And soon after, once those members who have undergone a minimum of 30 hours of customized training under the designated members of IIRN and who are further engaged in research activities of significance would be registered as trainee mentors. And based upon the annual review of research contribution and quality of research, and these volunteer experts may be nominated as mentor members. Also, the core group which is the board, reserves the right to nominating any member within India or overseas as advisory or honorary member based upon their significant contributions made towards the development of services and knowledge in the disability sector. And if we talk about the registration fee or the membership fee, at present, there is no fee. However, on no profit, no loss basis, a fee may be levied for any online or offline training programs that may be held in future. And also in future, there will be, options of lifetime membership and annual memberships. However, the advisor and the honorary members will be exempted from the membership fee. As this is the first program, any other rules or regulations, future prospects can be discussed in the open house session scheduled later. So that's about it, about the introduction of IIRN. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for the brief presentation and informing all of us about the membership, the types of membership that is being offered by IIRN. Now, I'd request Professor Richard Rose to share with us the prospects of IIRN. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rajesh. I believe you have the slides there available, you said. That's excellent. Thank you very much. Okay. As I said, it's a great pleasure to be involved in this initiative, and I would like particularly to thank my colleagues, and particularly Dr. Das and Professor Narayan and colleagues for enabling this initiative to get off the ground. And I think it's been a labour of love, but one that has been quite a long time building. So let's just think about what we think the prospects for this might be. Have the next slide, please, Rajesh. I think we need to be clear about what we mean by inclusive research. Inclusive means that we have a commitment to equality and equity, and that we believe in creating supportive communities that give a right to those who've been marginalized, either through disability or maybe through poverty or through caste or social status or tribal status possibly. We need to have a commitment to say that we are going to work together to understand the lives of people who've been marginalized and to provide evidence that can help improve their situation, whether that be in education or in their daily social lives or in their healthcare. But our commitment is very much about doing inclusive research, using qualitative approaches to understand the lives of individuals. So it's going to be conducted in partnership with people rather than just research about or on people. It's about researching with individuals. And it's going to be the kind of organization that respects new researchers, young researchers. Enthusiasm is important. And this is not just about elite researchers who are going to be doing the large scale work. This is about supporting young researchers through a process of mentoring and support to engage in research activity, to increase their confidence and to increase research capacity in this area right across the country. Okay, next slide, I think, please, Rajesh. We had big plans following the last workshops that we did. And then, of course, the whole world was hit by COVID, which really made rather a dent in our ambitions at first, because clearly the intention was that we'd be able to travel around the country supporting each other, working together, and that's not been possible. We're all hoping it will be possible in the not too distant future, and I hope all of you are getting vaccinated and being sensible in this very difficult times. Very important, and supporting other people to get vaccinated as well. So just because we haven't been able to do things through the pandemic doesn't mean to say we haven't done anything at all. There have been a group of us, and you can see the people in these photographs amongst them who've met and discussed these plans and thought about how we could launch this network. And I think it's fair to say that particularly Dr. Das and Professor Narayan and myself, I've been delighted that we have younger people, a younger generation of researchers who are full of enthusiasm, who can help take this forward. That doesn't mean to say that we're going to step back and not be involved, but we do feel that we should be there in a mentoring and support capacity, and that leadership is something that everybody needs to embrace. Next slide, please, Rajesh. So why are we hoping to do this? Well, I'm so delighted to see so many people here who have attended training courses that I've helped to be involved in. And we were very aware of the tremendous enthusiasm amongst people who've done these courses all over the country, you know, from Mumbai and Calicut to Kolkata in the north. And we've been delighted at the response that we've actually had, and the support we've had from NIEPVD originally and from other organizations along the way. And it became obvious that there was an enthusiasm amongst these young people who've been doing these courses and want to continue the research. And several expressed the notion that they would want to be brought back together to be supportive. So that's what we're trying to do. We also believe that there are other people who we've worked with, who we're aware of, in universities, for instance, and other people within national organizations who are committed to this kind of approach. And we believe that by starting with this smaller cohort of people who've already shown their commitment, we can expand over the coming years to become a really well-established and leading national organization that will influence policymakers and conduct some outstanding research. Okay, Rajesh, next slide, please. I must apologize, I seem to have an M instead of an N in NIEPVD here. So apologies to my colleagues there in Chennai in particular. So who's going to become a member? Well, as has already been stated, we're looking for people who've done these workshops, for others who will join when we run further workshops, and there are already being planned, some of these, for the future. So we're looking forward to increasing the number of people who've done the training. We're looking to have cooperation for people who've given input to those courses as well. And we're looking to invite other specific individuals who you may know, who you feel can contribute to this process. Okay, next slide, please. Thank you. So what do we hope to achieve? I think the important things are increasing capacity and confidence in this area. There are lots of people who are committed to the ideal of being more inclusive, who feel that they're working often in isolation, need support. If we can increase capacity, that becomes easier for everybody. We also hope to create opportunities to conduct some real research, and to make sure that we have mentoring in place so that people who want to do research don't feel that they are struggling, that they are unsure of which direction to go in, because there will be somebody to assist and to oversee this and to help through the whole process. And we also hope to look for opportunities for funding and for publication of research and supporting people who want to get their work into the public domain. And I think that's very important. Next slide, please, Rajesh. So what activities will we organise? And this is partly about what activities you will organise. I need my glasses because the screen's too small for me. Okay. Certainly group and individual mentoring, getting people together to develop research ideas. A series of research seminars, and we've already discussed this at some length, and I know that my colleagues Johnson, Ratika, and Pooja, for instance, and Rajesh already have some plans in place for what's going to happen with these. So the kind of maybe monthly or 6 weeks or something, every with regular occurrence, there will be a seminar that everybody can attend, presented by Indian researchers, presented by international researchers, with a commitment to this area of being inclusive. Further workshops on aspects of conducting inclusive research. They might be anything from one-day workshops, some shorter online workshops, or some longer courses like we've done in the past. Hopefully conferences where people can disseminate the findings from their research. Supported bidding for funding. Funding is very difficult, and it's going to be more difficult after this pandemic is over because of the way money will need to be directed in other directions. But that doesn't mean to say we can't work together to try and get some funding for research, even small-scale research. And then other activities that you might wish to request or lead or engage us all in. And possibly as well, because this is going to be pan-India, maybe some regional meetings from time to time as well. If there are people, for instance, in Kolkata want to get together for an event, or in Chennai or in Dehradun, then certainly something on a regional basis. These are the kind of ideas we've had, but we want your input to this in order that we can start to put things into place and that this will gather a momentum of its own. Last slide, please. Rajesh. Hello? Ah, yes, here we go. So how are we going to be kept informed? Well, already I know my colleagues in Dehradun have been putting together things like a website, which hopefully can be circulated to everybody so that it can be built over the coming months. A WhatsApp group, an email group, regular communication will be important. And I would suggest that before too long, a more formal newsletter that perhaps goes out once every 4 or 5 months, keeping everybody informed of what we're doing. Last slide, the very last slide, please, Rajesh. We already have a logo, thanks to our colleagues in Dehradun, and we really feel very pleased that you want to be involved and want to make you feel welcome as part of this organization. So thank you all very much for listening, and it's a pleasure seeing you all again here today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dear members, now the discussion on future plans of IRN is open. So Himanshu sir, maybe you can initiate, sir, and since you are the member secretary of the India Inclusion Research Network.
I'll share a secret and an encouraging message for everyone. NIEPVD till 2015, sir, had only one major publication. There are very small research being done, but as such, when you look at NIEPVD website, you will find we had least number of publications and formal research being done. Not directly, but indirectly, the research culture in NIEPVD Chennai was an outcome of Dr. Rose sir and Dr. Jayanti ma'am taking initiative, and the whole NIEPVD environment changed after a certain period of time, and that has led today, without direct support of these two mentors, now NIEPVD website says they already have 10 publications and another 10 are in pipeline. This is what a small institute, a group of small people could achieve in just 3 years of time. 10 very nice indigenous collection of well-researched, well-written books as regards the standard of the professional goes. I'm not comparing it to very international standards because these were very new areas that NIEPVD wanted to venture. 10 books, 10 publications already launched and 10 are in pipeline was an outcome of such interaction and such effort being taken up by these mentors. So we Indians and we, the population of NIEPVD, we owe a lot to Professor Sir. And this is what can happen when researchers meet often, they talk often, they share their ideas. directly or indirectly, there is immense amount of potential. Everyone is a gainer here. Everyone benefits here. So my only advice is, whatever format we choose to, seminar, workshop, conference, regional meetings, or whatever format it is, we must have an annual plan, and wherein not a single month we should be leaving out, trying to bring people together. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
The board members, other board members, please share your views. It's an open house, as Madam Nitika Madam said. It's an open house.
Congratulations to NIEPVD for having this many publications that Dr. Das was just now telling in such a short time. And then the research spirit has come in. That's what he was trying to highlight, I think, the staff there, because of the initiative taken by Professor Rose. And definitely, Himanshu, you have spread it all over the country. And NIEPMD, you gave an example with the data of 10 researchers happened, but it's all over the country that people talk about the 5-zone workshop that you have done. And all of you also know that it has also been published, the first level workshops that we had, showing the effect of 5-day training on your knowledge gain. And it is already in a good journal, already published and reaching out. So congratulations, NIEPVD, and also thanks, Richard, for coming in here and then helping us pull up ourselves to realize our own potentials and guiding us to do what we are capable of doing. Like the closing sentence of Himanshu is what I want to take to talk about is probably we should make a calendar of every month, at least 1 or 2 programs we will have, and decide on the calendar and then keep filling in. Just like the RCI's CRE, they just say a calendar you give us and then it starts going, right, in certain topics. I don't want to go in the line of RCI. I'm saying a calendar can be made. And then every month there will be a program by somebody or a group of people or a teamwork or something that is shared, so that we have at least 1 to begin with, and then a month, I mean to say, then it becomes 2 and 3 and gradually increase in number. And each one there is a presentation by somebody of the work that they have done or something they want to share. Maybe if we can work towards that. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah. I don't mistake me, not in the lines of RCI, the way RCI does. I'm just saying having a calendar, that's all I said. Not about charging crowd, group, this many must be there and this many questions have to be asked and photograph. I'm not saying all that. Just a calendar, up to that I'm saying that we should have a calendar to go on so that we know what's coming. Oh, October, IIRN is doing this. November, IIRN is doing this. So all of us will know, you see, and then we'll be ready and participating, that kind.
Yes, ma'am. Please, other members.
I think Rajesh ji, you have to, I think, invite all our core people one by one. Then only people will speak. We Indians are generally very shy. You have to invite.
Okay, so let me now first call Dr. Ratika Khani, madam.
My question would be to the other new board members, because we were planning to meet after this meeting to discuss our calendar, like Jayanti ma'am and Dr. Himanshu Das suggested. So we wanted to know their opinion on should a presentation be every 6 weeks or every 4 weeks, and you know, what kind of, because we will be you know, starting off with presentations on the research that some of us have already done, and Professor Rose has said that he might even invite some of his colleagues from here to take part in those presentations. So we just wanted to know with the calendar what would be more convenient for the members? Would it be 6 weeks or once a month would be better for them?
I would let the member secretary Himanshu sir speak. Take the decision.
I think we'll plan it every month, ma'am, because there are every chance that once in a while we might miss it out. So annually, it will even up to about 8 or 10 a year.
Okay. So we'll put that down in our calendar. We'll have one every month then.
Yes, ma'am.
So for the first meeting, are we going to be doing something like 2 of us present our work and probably 2 or 3 of the other students present, or students, so sorry, please don't get me wrong, present their work. And after that, seeing, depending on how it goes, we then get an international or another speaker to come and talk. Has everyone else left the meeting?
Everybody's gone to sleep, I think, Pooja. Let's hear from somebody else.
If you have an idea of each time we have a meeting, how long it is going to be. First, if we decide, then Pooja's questions can be answered as to how many presentations. Is it every month, once when we meet, it will be 1 hour, 2 hours? Some such clarity if we get, then Pooja's question answering will be easier.
Ma'am, normally we are doing for such program because everybody is having their office commitments. Normally we are doing it in the evening for 2 hours. And normally the slotting is such that we give about 25 minutes to the key resource person, 2 resource person, 25 minutes each, with a leverage of about 10 minutes for question answers or something. And then about 15 minutes for the additional presenters. So we have around 3 additional presenters and 2 primary resource persons, and intermittent time of about 10 to 20 minutes goes in our question answers and other such things. Normally that is the forum we are normally using.
Yeah, okay.
We can have plus minus to this, ma'am.
Dr. Himanshu Das, I wanted to ask you, this 15 minutes for 3 additional presenters, are these the people who are working on their PhD and they would like to ask questions? Is that what you mean by additional?
Yes, ma'am. Anybody doing PhD or any research work who is willing to sort of present a paper somewhere, or who is willing to publish a paper somewhere, or who just wants to get into the perfection of his work or something. So those kind of people, we consider them normally as presenters. And in 1 hour, normally we give 3 presenters so that our mentors have 5 minutes time to sort of speak on or comment on their work or sort of improve their work. And the resource persons maybe again 25 minutes to each. And again, leaving 5 minutes to the mentors to maybe comment on. That's how we normally plan the 2 hours without wasting much time on introduction of each other and like formal inauguration programs or valedictory programs that you see in India. That is what I'm doing on an everyday basis actually.
So when we do this, assuming that we are taking it forward with 4 presentations in the next month, are we doing it on a particular aspect of the research? Because I mean, I'm sure none of us can come and present our entire research in 25 minutes. That would make it very, hurried. And if we are encouraging new researchers also to come up and clarify their doubts and concerns, it should be on a particular topic.
That is slightly difficult. Maybe we'll have one kind of theme, ma'am. Giving a topic will be slightly difficult because our members are very few right now.
I meant theme, not topic. Sorry.
Resource persons are also very limited. So we'll have some core themes. Maybe we'll work on maybe 5 or 6 themes for this year, and then we might be changing the themes in due course of time. So very soon we can have a kind of a homework on kind of themes that we want, and accordingly we can distribute it to everyone who would be able to present. And this confirmation of presentation is normally done at least 10 days in advance. So the next program that we have, next seminar that we have, so before 10 days, the chief resource person and the presenters must confirm themselves, failing which our mentors would be forced to have additional presentations.
Can I suggest that maybe you might need more than one format? It might depend on what you're doing. You know, I agree with Dr. Das that, you know, it would be nice to give this opportunity to lots of people, but it may be that on one occasion you have, I don't know, an international speaker from Australia or something who may need a little bit more time, and therefore I would suggest that the format should have some flexibility.
Yes, sir. For international, normally we are keeping, sir, for international people, we are keeping 40 minutes plus 20 minutes of question answers.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think at the moment we have to prepare an annual calendar. For that, monthly we can do kind of research seminar type of presentations. Maybe 1 hour would be nice for the beginning. So what we can do now is we can do kind of a call for presentations from our group. So let the people from our group members, let them say, I can present this this part or an aspect of about this. Then we can collect accordingly. We can maybe thematically analyze and give them, okay, this is this presentation based on this particular theme. So maybe the first couple of months we will focus on one particular theme, then later like that. In between, if we need kind of expertise advice or expertise presentation from international level or somebody who is very experienced person, we can merge that kind of presentation in between. This is what I think for a start, for making this year as a kind of annual calendar of activities.
What I understand is in the place of 2 present resource persons, it is possible that it could be 1 resource person, international or national, if they are experts. And like Pooja said, one may need more time to present their work, so they need the hour. And Himanshu also clarified it can be 1 or 2 presenters. Then the youngsters who are working, they want to present their work too. The second hour could be used for the youngsters who are mid through their working and seek clarification from the experts, and they want to present and seek advice. Is that how it is? First one is a presenter who gives us what they have done, and we all learn from it that this work has done. It can be 1 or 2 persons depending upon how much they want, if we want to leave it that way, right? And then the second one is the youngsters who share their work and we comment on it. That will be 2 people, is that right, Himanshu? That's what you said. 2 youngsters, half hour. Resource person 1 will be, you mean to say 1 or sometimes 2, that's what you said. If it would be 1, and like Richard said, we'll keep it flexible so that it could be suitably designed. Is it what, am I understanding it right?
Yes, ma'am. It's sort of just for our understanding, around 25 minutes for in general for resource person. Sometimes it goes up to 40-45 minutes for a resource person. And for the presenters, normally we give 15 minutes plus 5 minutes for maybe mentoring or question answers or things like that. Anyway, it will all depend on sort of kind of.
We are flexible on that.
Yeah, flexible, kind of.
I guess, sorry to interrupt, but I guess here it could also depend on which you could focus. Instead of presenting your entire research at one particular time, you could just present maybe the methodology or how you do the literature or how you analyze the data. It doesn't have to be the entire research at one presentation. And I think it helps students better if you break it down into bits and pieces so they can then concentrate on one aspect of research.
Mm.
I mean, yes. I don't know what your thoughts on that are.
Yes, ma'am. Normally, when we target at training people more, then we have such an approach where we go by, say, framing the research question is a theme, or sort of methodology is a theme, the design is a theme, preparation of a questionnaire is a theme. That is one kind of theme that we use while training. and the other is sort of normal thematic that we use. One is research methodology oriented themes. Second is research oriented themes. So we can have both way continued approach in going on.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to ask a question. Do we come up with a proposal first in the beginning? Or how is it for new researchers? Because I'm totally new over here, so I just want to ask that question. Do we come up with a theme and a proposal first, or how is it?
Maybe that itself can become a theme of our research proposal presentation.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the first presentation could be about choosing your themes and how you choose your theme, and then get everybody interested in that and involved in an open discussion on their area of interest, and how you pick up the theme and how you maybe the aim of the research or research questions or something like that could be the first presentation.
May I? Yeah, I remember in one of the meeting with Richard sir, when we were having this meeting, he was actually suggesting that why don't we do a refresher sort of thing that we had in all the zones. Just we refresh it, maybe with the mentors, and then we go ahead with the other members, like as suggested by Himanshu sir.
And if I may also add, another idea could be maybe just sharing since we have a lot of new members here, maybe we can share a small questionnaire with options of the themes, or maybe an option of them writing down a theme, and they can based upon the data that we collect, we can select and decide on the initial workshops that we can plan.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. That makes
interest.
Yeah, that really makes sense. That way you involve everybody, into what interests them, rather than.
I'm looking forward to listening to the other participants with us.
I think for today was the beginning, ma'am. I think for today we have to give some leverage to everyone. So I'll request Rose sir and Jayanti ma'am to be maybe giving your concluding remarks. And
Maybe participants may want to say something. The other participants, can we listen to them if they have anything?
Unless Rajesh will call individually, people will not come.
Oh, there may be.
Rajesh
Because I just checked the chat box. There is nothing in chat box. So I thought.
Rajesh, you have to invite people.
See, Anamika has come. She's going to talk now. There it is.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Actually, I was just wondering if it is possible initially if they can join in groups, in team. 2 or 3 of them can present a paper or anything as such, and later if we can move on to individuals. Will it be okay? Because I feel that will be comfortable for some of us. And as you suggested, the Google form, so that we can collect the informations, and based on that we can make the themes or something like that. I think that will really help.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Bharti madam, you wanted to say something. Bharti madam, she is doing a lot of work, and recently she has come up with the pre-accessibility booklet, both in digital format and also the hard copy. Bharti ma'am?
She had some network issues. Is she there?
I think she left. Yeah, she just left, I think.
She had some network issues, she was telling, no?
Can we fix up the date for the next, so that we start working with that?
Tomorrow morning for us, Rajesh. Sorry, tomorrow afternoon.
12:30, okay. Himanshu sir, what could be the date for the next, so that we are all prepared and we can kick off the program?
I think it's always wiser to get the date from Dr. Rose sir, because others will have to push in, pull in, or do whatever. Rose sir has to be there for next at least 5 meetings continuously. After that, maybe 1 or 2 absentee will be okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, Dr. Das. Okay. I think obviously tomorrow there is a meeting with this group who are going to look at trying to produce a calendar, and a lot will depend on the availability of people, of course, to present. But I would suggest maybe sometime at the end of October, maybe the week beginning the 25th of October would be quite a good time, because that gives a bit of time for people to prepare for any presentation they're doing, and to notify everybody for the office there to maybe send out a flyer to everybody. Does that sound like a reasonable time?
Yes, sir. 25th is Monday, sir. 25th October.
Yeah, sometime that week I would have suggested.
I hope the cricket match is not clashing. That is the only doubt.
Right. Well, does that sound like a reasonable time frame for the people who are organising the calendar? Sas Pooja, Ratika Johnson.
I was just wondering that if we are going to send out questionnaires, is that enough time to get replies back and get it compiled together to get an idea of what they would like to do, or should we just do the first one without the questionnaire in?
I would put a date in for the first one, otherwise everything just gets delayed.
Okay.
Somebody,
Chandra Prakash ji has a question. He has just raised a hand. Sir, you can unmute and you can speak.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I would like to share my experience that even after those 2 workshops that I have attended in physical mode, I still feel that I need some training in analysis part, qualitative research analysis part, and coding part. So what I feel that in the beginning session or in the beginning workshop, if we get training in those areas, so it would be more beneficial for us to start writing research papers.
Yeah.
Actually, that was what was planned, if you all recall, Chandra Prakash ji, that
Yes,
all of you would do your respective data collection and send it. In fact, a few people, Anamika, Satya, Saila Kumari, they had all done even their transcription and sent to Richard, if I recall, and a CC to me. So the task given to those 23 of you who went through the process with the calendar, in fact, so time you would collect data, and there were letters that Himanshu shot out to the respective state government to allow you people to collect data. Remember, he gave you all letters to do that. It all started,
yes.
but it stalled.
Yes,
the idea was what you are asking, so that if you individually do your work and then you are personally in touch with Richard for the and Pooja, Ritika Johnson for the data analysis, they would handhold you to do the data analysis and you will be able to publish. That was the idea. I don't know if you have collected the data based on the homework given in the advanced training workshop. If you have done that, there is still scope for you to get in touch with the experts for the analysis of the data and get your paper done. You remember that was the plan. I clearly remember that. And Richard
Yes,
closed with that parrot astrologer and all that particular session. I clearly remember that. Yeah.
Ma'am, actually,
so if you have collected the data, see, hands-on has to be, you have to collect the data, then ask your expert, how do I code this? How do I transcribe this? When they tell you, then you do your work. Then it becomes a paper of yours with the hand-holding done by the expert. So all of you are left with a homework, if I recall. And if that homework, if you do, your paper is ready for you. Do you recall that? Anamika ji, do you recall that 3-4 of you had sent, because I had CCs coming to me?
Yeah, I recall. I had already sent things, but I don't know further how to go about it. So if I get that mentorship, I think it will help me.
So to respond to Chandraprakash ji, I have two suggestions, if I may. One is that where you left, you continue and collect the data and get back to our experts who would help you with the coding, transcribing, coding, and then writing your individual paper. The second one, right away, if we start with the data coding analysis in the initial workshops, people may get scared, who are joining us fresh, who are new, because data coding, transcribing, coding, analyzing is relatively tough compared to the other steps in the qualitative research. So if the initial ones itself, if we start off with the data coding and analysis, we may find people getting a little bit, what's the right word to use here? Threatened, oh, this much is there, kind of. It can come a little later, is my loud thinking. I can be disposed of my suggestions, but this is how I feel. On the other hand, if the initial ones, as a teacher, if I may say, we move from concrete to abstract in learning. So the research work done by Ratika and Pooja and Johnson, their own experience, what they have gone through, how they went about with their research, if they would present that, I think the audience will get an insight of how to go about with a concrete example there. I still remember the advanced training when it was going on and Pooja and Ritika were telling their experiences. The feedback during the lunchtime and other time I was getting from people, very well received. They said, now we understand how to go about. Because they're desorganized and you are explaining how we went about with it, what was the hurdles we faced and how did we go about. That is how they explained. So that kind of an initial presentations will attract more researchers to come and join and learn. And then as we go by, we get the tougher areas, may I say. This is my loud thinking. Yeah.
It's maybe taking clue from Jayanti Narayan Madam and Research Rose Sir, maybe to make things easier. 25th around the next program we are planning, maybe Ritika Madam and Pooja Madam can present their work, or maybe Johnson Sir also can present their work with Research Rose Sir, trying to explain us the complexity of all those things in a very practical manner. So all four of you can sort of plan the next event for us to sort of become more acquainted to the qualitative research part of it. If that is agreeable to Research Rose Sir, we can finalize the agenda for the next workshop itself. All three people will be presenting their work, some part of the work, maybe 30 minutes, and Rose Sir can explain us about the complexities involved in those work.
Yes, sir, I see Richard Sir's message. He said we can certainly do some few further research method workshops and assist individuals working for publication. Neelam ji, just 1 second, Ratika ma'am. Neelam ji also said, I request the organizers to include me in your group of beginners, learners, and Richard sir is happy to welcome her. Yes, ma'am. Now you can go ahead.
What I was suggesting, instead of all three of us presenting our papers, I was thinking we could do it in different at different presentations. Each one of us could present our PhD research and then concentrate on each aspect of how we handle the analysis and coding and whatever. So I think because analysis and coding is such a difficult and a tricky part of qualitative research, if we do 3 or 4 research like Pooja, Johnson, me, and Nitika, and whoever else wants to, we could do on each presentation 1 research and then have the rest of the time for people to ask us questions and how they could do it for their particular research. And it could be a more interactive program after that, after we present our.
Absolutely fine, ma'am. Just that any 3 of you must volunteer for the next 25th one.
Yeah,
we will. Then you will schedule the rest of the 2 next, maybe after 15 days.
Yeah. We are definitely sitting down and planning the next 6 presentations tomorrow. Mr. Rajesh has already been booked for us at 12:30 in the afternoon.
Ma'am, we have two hands
Good
raised
evening.
up. One is from Tag. Yeah, please go ahead, Aparna.
Actually, I would request if there could be a training on how to conduct qualitative research in during this pandemic, because what the methods that interview and observations are not being we cannot apply it during the pandemic, and we don't know that when this blended mode of teaching will really be again shifted to the formal education methods. So even in my PhD, when I collected the data, it was before the pandemic. So the relevance of that psychological attributes of the teachers and educators after this pandemic has somewhat gone a bit low. So could we have just a training on how we can conduct the qualitative research if this pandemic goes on for some more time, because the research is kind of stalled in amidst this, especially the qualitative one, because quantitative we can still go for online surveys, but in the qualitative research the pandemic is really a problem. So could we just have some training on how we could still go about doing it?
I think that's a good idea. And actually, there is qualitative research still going on, and we're all becoming much more adept at using systems like this. And I was just thinking, for instance, as you were speaking, we could always invite, I have colleagues in Cambodia working on a project at the moment who've been doing qualitative data collection right the way through this pandemic. And it's been very, very challenging, but they've been quite innovative in the way that they have approached it. So certainly we could do a session related to that, I'm quite sure.
Yeah. Richard, I just finished a research project with Nick Cartwright at Northampton University, and we did it completely online. But the thing is, over there, the issue is internet connection. You need that to have focus groups. That's the only issue that is of importance in this pandemic, because without that, it would be impossible.
But that in itself is worth discussion during a session, I think.
Yeah.
Mr. Tagore, sir, you have raised your hand. You can go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Sir, actually, I'm new to this one, sir. For the people who already attended the workshop, they may be able to go further level, sir. So people who are not attended the workshops, if they're having basics, then it will be easier, sir. So we request you to conduct one more such a sort of training program of basic what the research program already conducted, sir. As like the director told, initially conducted few programs, sir. Is that if any new programs is there, it will be very useful for us, sir, for the new people, sir.
Yes, I'm sure we can do that. I think we're very committed to doing that kind of thing. So certainly we can do that.
Thank you.
We had Dr. Kamaraj sir raising hand. Kamaraj sir, you would like to say something? Yeah, Nasir ji, you can go ahead with your question. Nasir Javed ji. You have raised your hand.
Hi, can you hear me? Yeah. Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so first of all, sorry for joining late as I was struggling with the connection issues. So I wanted to know, as far as I recall, we were supposed to interview 10 teachers, right? After that Chennai workshop.
Correct.
So I was done with 4 teachers, and I completed all the interviews. But I want to know, can I proceed with the sample size of 4 and finish it, or is it mandatory to go with 10 participants in the research?
He's from the second group, advanced group training, and the homework is what he's referring to.
At the moment, we have to be quite flexible at the moment because people are having difficulties with the pandemic. And I think if people have got data, we shouldn't reject it. I mean, if it's impossible to get 10, then we have to accept that. It's very difficult for everyone at the moment. So yes, certainly, I think we would accept less than 10.
Thank you.
Kurtika Kumar, a new entry. I think, madam, can you just unmute and can you just give your brief Introduction. Kritika Kumar. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Himanshu, sir.
There is a query in the chat box regarding if other people can join in for our presentations and future trainings. Definitely yes, because we are uploading. We are planning to upload or go live on all our programs, YouTube and Facebook. So anybody can benefit on that. There is no issue on that.
Sir, in case if the presenters or the mentors would like to present, and will we be able to share the PPTs or the resource material to them?
Yeah.
It's also a good idea that in every meeting, if we take stock of among the participants, is there anybody who has had a new publication that has come out or a doctorate that they have received? Just take a minute to say that my article has been published in such and such journal on so and so topic. So that way we get to know all our group members' achievements also. Like soon Rajesh is going to say that I am Dr. Rajesh Ramachandran. It is just in the pipeline. He's just waiting for his results to come. Like that, there will be each one they can type it in and send or speak or whatever. So we know how our network people are faring in terms of their research. In the introduction, first 5 minutes, we just give it for people to say, I have done this from between last month's meeting to this month's meeting. These are the progress among our members, if there is anything to share. Not presentation. I just give their title and the journal in which they published. Is that okay? So that that goes on record. Yeah. Himanshu, I just want to ask you this. Is there this possibility that somewhere there is a need, some institute or university or organization, they have a need for a workshop to be conducted to their staff and students on a certain research method or inclusive education or some such thing, and then they will have an access to our IIRN to request, and then your IIRN resource persons, you may tell them to go do it on behalf of IIRN to that organization. Such kind of invitations, can we receive and respond, respect and do it? Like say such an invitation comes, so there is Ratika going for one workshop or Pooja in another or Johnson in another, representing IIRN.
We'll get invite from NIEPVD Dehradun first, and then followed by that we will give you invite every month from different CRCs and national institutes, ma'am.
As an IIRN activity, other than our monthly activities that we were discussing till now, other than that, I'm saying.
Got it, ma'am. Got it. You will be soon getting invites, frequent invites.
Okay. Okay. So we become more visible that if we do this. Yeah.
Chandra Prakash Singhji, want to say something?
Yes, sir. Even at Maharashtra University, in the previous month, we conducted a workshop on research. So it was a very basic research workshop, and we actually we have quite interest in research methodology. So definitely, we would like to collaborate with IIRN in future, sir.
Just great. You have our email, so you can just email your request. That's all.
Definitely, sir.
May I now request maybe Rose sir and Jayanti ma'am for some concluding remarks before we sort of wind up.
Jayanti, you want to go first?
Either way, whatever you say, you are the boss.
No, I'm not the boss. I
You go by whatever you say. Yeah. Yeah, we are all here because of you, Richard. We have to acknowledge that.
I'll take the blame. Okay, perhaps I should say a few things then. I think, you know, I'm really heartened by the enthusiasm there is here today. But one of the things we always have to bear in mind is when we're all together, it's really easy to be enthusiastic. But it's the work we do between these meetings that will make this a success. So I think we have some excellent plans. I'm delighted that we've got 4 young people who are meeting tomorrow, I think, to take this forward, and we will soon have a calendar. I'm looking forward to seeing a really active website and regular contact between people here. And I've already got in mind some things that can perhaps help us in terms of the training that people want and the ideas that have been expressed today. So thank you very much for your commitment and your enthusiasm. I know it's getting into your evening now. It's mid-afternoon here, so I'm at a great advantage. But I look forward to seeing things progress and to being with everybody again in October. So thank you all very much.
Okay. I would just summarize what we discussed. I'll read it out. So after our introductions and getting to know what we are up to, then we have arrived at certain recommendations to our group that includes calendar will be developed, and once a month for 2 hours we will have the group coming together with the presentations from eminent speakers as well as the young researchers, dividing the time with a flexibility in it. And we can also have during the sessions not necessarily only completed paper presentations, but it can also be just on a segment of research methods such as methodology alone or review of literature alone or data analysis alone. So there could be such sessions also by experts during our once a month meetings. And we would collect information through a survey to find out what are all the requirements. So the survey will be done before our next meeting, hopefully. And in October, around the 25th or the week starting 25th, we are likely to have our next meeting. Presentation by one of our experts, Johnson, Ratika or Pooja. They would let us know who of the 3 will be presenting their work during the first meeting. And there was a request also for programs for beginners who have joined us now and they have not attended earlier programs, and we have said that we are likely to help them out also with the beginners programs too. And we would work towards getting IIRN invited for conducting research workshops in various institute, universities and organizations. And have I missed out anything? Yeah, and those who have done the advanced program of Richard that we had after the 5 zone, the advanced training program, who have already collected data, they can revive it and send it to the experts for hand-holding to support them for bringing it out as a good publication. Have I missed out anything? I think most of the points are covered, and very good. I mean, I'm feeling as if this baby, the sick person is taken out of the ventilator and new life is given, and there is going to be good things happening in our research forum, and healthy growth it is likely to have with all your expertise. Thank you all so much, particularly Richard and Himanshu, because of both of you that it's happening today. The way Himanshu took it as a national, I never imagined he would make it national. I just thought it would be an NIEPMD is one of the programs. And all the way through, Rajesh with the same smile on the face, whether we are talking angrily or friendly or in whatever manner, Rajesh always has that composed look on his face. One has to learn that from you, Rajesh, really. I learned it from you, to stay composed. Thank you so much, and still you are taking it through, and your whole team at NIEPVD and Nitika also. All of you NIEPMD group is working so quietly. Even now I'm not seeing the faces on the screen, but they are all there to make things happen, supporting Rajesh to have this happening. And all of our other participants who are with us today. Some of you new, we welcome you to our network. Some of the old friends of ours, happy to see you back again, and we are looking forward to seeing your research, seeing the light and getting published. Thank you one and all. Thank you so much. Looking forward to meeting you again. Thank you so much. Take care and stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anne.
Bye-bye.
Good evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Rajesh, is the meeting of tomorrow, what is the meeting that you're talking about? Sorry, I missed the earlier meeting. Am I supposed to be part of it? You're talking about some meeting tomorrow, 12:30. What is it about?
It is about to discuss the points and to make the calendar.
I'm sorry I missed today's. I had some issues with my system and also some other problems. I missed today's meeting. I should have been there.
Today's meeting earlier was about the Kolkata workshop with
Okay.
Richard. So I think he's going to get back to us with the details of the calendar.
Yeah, I'd send you all a mail about some updates that I got from Arundhati. So I will have a mail sent to all of you on that. Sorry, I missed out that Calcutta meeting. Tomorrow, am I supposed to be part of your meeting?
No, I think it's between Nitika, Rajesh, Pooja, Johnson and me, and we are planning the calendar. And once we finalize it, we will have a meeting with you and Richard so that you're not wasting your time with us.
Not at all. No, I just wanted to know so that I'm organized.
Yeah.
I'm feeling upset that I missed out today's, but I'll catch up. Whatever you had discussed. I'll send you a mail on that.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye-bye, all of you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.